On the night of December 20th, 2021, in Columbia, South Carolina, a heated argument broke out between Terrell Sims and his girlfriend, Taylor Wardlaw, at their residence. As the dispute escalated, neighbors later reported hearing gunshots coming from the home. After that, everything went quiet. 2 days later, Taylor appeared at a police station to report Terrell missing. She claimed he had left their home on the night of December 20th and never came back. Law enforcement launched a search for Terrell, with Taylor taking a leading role in organizing community efforts to locate him. She created missing person flyers and worked closely with the police during the investigation. Sadly, on January 3rd, 2022, Terrell's body was discovered submerged in a creek. The autopsy revealed he had been shot 4 times, with one of the bullets striking him in the back. The case took a dramatic turn when police received a tip indicating that someone very close to Terrell was responsible for his death and had been pretending to assist in the investigation. Terrell, a 26-year-old devoted father of 4, tragically lost his life at the hands of someone he deeply trusted. This is the heartbreaking story of Terrell Sims. Terrell Devon Sims Sr. was born on July 6, 1995, in Richland County, South Carolina. He came from a tightly bonded family and was especially close to his twin sister, Marcella Sims Jacobs, and their older sister, Rose Sims. Terrell had 3 children from a previous relationship, and despite the challenges, he raised them as a single father. He was admired for his strength, love, and unwavering positivity, even through life's trials. In 2018, Terrell met Taylor Wardlaw, and their connection was instant. The relationship began with passion and quickly grew serious, leading them to settle together in Columbia, South Carolina. Friends and relatives saw Terrell as a devoted father who juggled his responsibilities between fatherhood and work, always striving to provide a stable life for his children. But as time passed, Taylor's behavior began to change. She developed a dual personality, outgoing and affectionate in front of others, yet suspicious and overbearing when alone with Terrell. She would question his actions, constantly demand access to his phone, and exhibit controlling tendencies. Taylor's need for control intensified quickly. She frequently called him if he didn't respond right away, unexpectedly showed up at locations where he was supposed to be, and became enraged over casual conversations with other women. Her obsession with knowing his whereabouts became overwhelming. If Terrell took too long during errands, she bombarded him with accusatory messages. Still, despite the emotional strain, Terrell's love for Taylor kept him tethered to the relationship. Their time together was a cycle of arguments, temporary splits, and reunions. The instability of their bond started affecting Terrell's ability to focus on his children and maintain ties with his support network. Taylor's demands increasingly isolated him from those who were around him. The relationship turned more toxic as time went on. Verbal disputes escalated into physical confrontations, becoming more public and intense. In 2020, when Taylor was 9 months pregnant, their issues had worsened to a critical level. Following a heated argument where Taylor claimed Terrell threatened her life, he was arrested. She told the court she feared for her and her unborn child's safety, leading to a no-contact order issued to keep them apart. However, just months after giving birth, Taylor and Terrell resumed their relationship, violating the court order. The cycle of reconciliation followed, and conflict continued. They presented a picture of a happy family on social media one week, only to be apart the next due to another altercation. By mid-2021, Taylor, now 29, continued to monitor Terrell's phone and social media. Terrell tried to comply, but sometimes resisted her suffocating control. Taylor's manipulative behavior worsened. She often painted herself as the victim while intensifying the drama. Terrell, then 26, became further cut off from friends and family. By December 2021, their already broken relationship hit rock bottom. Taylor had begun an affair with a man named Eddie Young Star Brown while still trying to control Terrell's life. On December 20th, 2021, tensions erupted again in their Columbia home. Taylor, obsessed with accusations that Terrell was cheating, confronted him that evening. Around 9 p.m., their fight escalated far beyond previous arguments. Taylor screamed that she had proof of his infidelity, but this time their confrontation was louder than usual, and that night marked the last time Terrell Sims was seen alive. On December 22nd, Taylor walked into the Columbia Police Department to report Terrell missing. She told officers he had walked out after a disagreement and never returned. She gave a description of what he was wearing and suggested friends who might know his whereabouts. She appeared upset, handed over his phone records, and even provided photos for missing person flyers. The police treated it as a standard missing person case, and local media covered it. Taylor appeared in interviews, pleading for the public's help and speaking about Terrell's importance to his children. On December 27th, she organized a community search. She handed out flyers and delegated search areas, but oddly directed volunteers away from the creek area. She insisted those areas had already been checked, which was not true. Eddie Brown, meanwhile, avoided participating in the search. Then, on January 2nd, 2022, investigators received an anonymous tip suggesting Taylor was involved in Terrell's disappearance. A friend of Taylor's had noticed inconsistencies in her account. The tip, paired with phone data and witness statements, led investigators to the creek. On January 3rd, they discovered Terrell Sims' partially submerged body there. Phone data placed both Taylor and Eddie in the area the night of December 20th. Close to the body, police found Terrell's ankle monitor, further linking the crime scene to Taylor and Eddie. The case was now a homicide. An autopsy revealed Terrell had been shot 4 times, including once in the back. Witnesses, including a neighbor, confirmed hearing gunshots from the home the night of his disappearance. Investigators quickly built a case. Forensic testing uncovered traces of Terrell's blood throughout the home, even after attempts to clean it. Using chemical sprays and lighting, they found blood spatter patterns showing a violent struggle had taken place. Shattered glass and overturned furniture supported this. They also found blood residue in a rental car used by Brown, along with a bullet hole in the vehicle's hood. Data from Terrell's ankle monitor indicated it stopped functioning at 9:47 p.m. on December 20th, the exact time the argument had intensified. Evidence showed Terrell was shot multiple times during the argument, with the fatal shot hitting him in the back, indicating he was trying to walk away. Cameras from a neighbor's house captured Eddie Brown arriving at the home at 10:17 p.m. and staying for over 2 hours. During that time, he and Taylor worked to hide the crime. They wrapped Terrell's body and used the rental car to dispose of it in the creek. Eddie also helped clean the crime scene and coached Taylor on what to say. Recovered texts revealed their plan. Eddie Brown instructed Taylor to say Terrell left after an argument and not to share anything else. Phone records proved Taylor never called 911 after the shooting. Instead, her first call was to Eddie Brown. GPS data and phone locations confirmed their travel route from the home to the creek and back. By December 21st, they were already covering up the murder, wiping away bloodstains, and constructing the story Taylor later gave police. Further evidence from Taylor's phone showed controlling, accusatory messages sent to Terrell the day he died. The case built a clear narrative of control, jealousy, and domestic abuse leading to murder. Witnesses testified about Taylor's behavior and her obsession with Terrell's loyalty. The anonymous friend who tipped off police even revealed Taylor had confessed the shooting and where they dumped the body. Experts concluded that Taylor's possessiveness, fear of being abandoned, and quick access to a weapon created the perfect storm for violence. The fatal shot to Terrell's back shattered any claim of self-defense and demonstrated intent. By March 2022, police had everything they needed to charge both Taylor and Eddie Brown. The evidence showed a calculated murder, followed by a deceptive cover-up. Taylor Wardlaw was arrested and taken to custody. On March 3, 2024, over 2 years after Terrell's death, 31-year-old Taylor Wardlaw stood in Richland County Courthouse, facing the consequences of her actions after a long and thorough investigation. Following months of legal proceedings and with a mountain of evidence stacked against her, Taylor Wardlaw made a move that caught many observers off guard. On the very first day of her trial, Taylor Wardlaw chose to plead guilty to voluntary manslaughter. By doing so, she avoided a lengthy courtroom battle that could have revealed even more disturbing information about the killing of Terrell Sims and the efforts to conceal it. As part of the plea deal, prosecutors agreed to drop several firearm-related charges that could have significantly increased her prison time. The court ultimately handed Taylor Wardlaw a 20-year sentence in state prison. While many viewed the punishment as considerable, it sparked mixed feelings among those close to the case. The prosecution stated that the outcome was fair, particularly because Taylor Wardlaw had admitted guilt and taken responsibility through her plea. However, some of Terrell's family members voiced disappointment. They believed the plea deal allowed Taylor Wardlaw to escape further accountability. Specifically, they were upset that charges involving tampering with evidence and obstructing justice were not pursued, especially given the calculated effort she made to hide the crime. Meanwhile, the legal case against Eddie Brown is still active. Prosecutors are pursuing charges against him for acting as an accessory after the fact and for his role in tampering with evidence. Those who love Terrell hope Eddie will be held fully accountable for his involvement. May the soul of Terrell Sims rest in peace.